I call upon our Imam to give us the blessings to start off this program and a few words of wisdom and his experience with the Janaza program. I'd like him to share, and I call upon Brother Anas to take the phone.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. Whomever Allah guides, no one can misguide, and whomever Allah misguide, no one can guide except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the beginning, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower us with His mercy and His rahmah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us successful in everything we do. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Almighty God, to use us in His cause. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us in this dunya and to grant us, the paradise in the hereafter. Allahumma ameen. No matter how busy we are, and no matter how many events we have around, but we always should remember our brothers and sisters in Palestine, especially the people in Gaza and Jenin. So I don't want to be hypocrite. I don't want to be like those who have, two faces, but we should remember our brothers and sisters around the world. We should have some sympathy and some, feelings, and we should care for all the human beings, no matter Muslims or non-Muslims, because before we became Muslims, we are human beings, and we should care about humanity all the time, no matter how busy we are. So in the beginning, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our brothers and sisters in Palestine and to give them victory. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen. Secondly, I would like to say thank you, and we are grateful and thankful to our management here in this masjid and the management at Green Hills Mortuary. Whatever. I would like to appreciate my sister here. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for participating and helping us and guiding our management and our community. And inshallah, this is going to be in your scale of good deeds. Allahumma ameen. So yes, we are grateful and thankful to our management that they gave us the opportunity to be here tonight and to have many programs that going to help the community and the communities around. And it is important to participate, and it is important to have cooperation and solidarity toward each others, especially here in this country. So when we do that, we will be applying the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. This program, it could be successful only if we put our hands together, only if we cooperate from our own heart, only if we have sincerity in everything we do. Because the success comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. All tawfiq in this dunya is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it's very important to have, a clean heart. And it's important to cooperate in this, program and do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You never know if you're going to die in the United States or you're going to die in Sri Lanka or in the Middle East. But try to make this a cooperation only for the sake of Allah. If it's not for you, it's going to be for someone else. You pay every month such amount of money to participate in this program. Just keep in heart and keep in mind that I'm doing it for myself, but before that I'm doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is the only one who will give us successful and we're going to achieve our goals inshallah together if we do it, if we participate together, if we have cooperation inshallah ta'ala. So This program on this event is very important, and we should spread the message around, the people around, and we should participate, we should cooperate, we should tell people it's important to participate in this event. We have, of course, professional people, our sisters here, amongst us today, to give us, inshallah, more details. And Brother Rohan, we cannot ignore his, mashallah, dedication toward this program. As an imam, I'm telling you the truth, the success only from him alone. Our duty is to work together, cooperate together, put our hands together, and do it only for the sake of Allah. And then, inshallah, from him, we will get the success in everything we do. Jazakumullah khairan. My mind is very busy. I have another event I have to participate for the fundraiser that's going to be inshallah next week, but I have to prepare for it. That's why my mind is busy. Jazakumullah khairan for coming, and thank you, sister, for coming. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much, brother. So we'll keep moving forward. So initially, I just want to open the conversation by briefing what this Janaza program is all about. Most of you have heard about it. Some of you are already enrolled in this. The thing is that a lot of people think that this program is for the less affluent people. So that is a misconception. So this is for everyone, for every Muslim, and for everyone in our community. Only if we come together that we become strong as a community and we can do things as a community. So even if you have already secured your burial plots, your plans for your final departure, I think you still, as an obligation, you have an obligation to support the community who may be lesser fortunate than you. And the fact is that today you may be in a better place, but we don't know. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what and where and when this our last breath will be taken, and whether there is anyone around us even. So that is, and I have heard it myself. I have had phone calls saying that, Brother Rohan, my father is 92, he just passed away. I am in New Jersey, I'm at the airport, and I need some help, right? So they have just gone on a vacation maybe, and the parents are all by themselves. So these things do happen. And if you are a member of this community, if you are close to the masajid, these things the masajid can take care of. And it's always, some people think of only the financial part, but more than financial, there is emotional support. And at the time of grieving, you have so much to be done where paperwork is concerned. Simple things that people don't even know where their social security number is, or so these records should be matching with one or the other. If not, there are roadblocks on the way doing this, at least releasing the body from the hospital or whatever, is just because the social security number and some other record is not matching. So there's a preparation of the death certificate. And these have been the reasons why some of these burials were unable to be done on time. So our target is to do it within the 24-hour period. And we are working with some of the local cemeteries, trying to get a good deal, a better price. So we have got this flyer. So this is one program that we have. So this is at Green Hills. This is the closest cemetery that we have. But this program, it does not come program because the cost is prohibitive. There's each plot is about 20,000, and so this doesn't come under. But we have signed up for burial plots with cypress, that's the forest lawn, and we have already purchased some plots over there. Along with the Orange County Masjid, they have about 1,400? Yeah, over a. And the Islamic California, they too have got about 400 to 500 plots. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so altogether they, in that area, that's the Sunrise Burial Park there within Forest Lawn, they have almost about 2,000 plots that are Islamic. So gradually we are expanding the Islamic areas, and hopefully they are developing some land there, and we are waiting. I keep calling Annette and asking, are we ready for us to put the money down so that we can start buying up and making that entire area Islamic area. So our community support is needed for all of this. Next is, so this small amount of $35 a month, imagine if we can get 1,000 members, we are looking at about $35,000 a month. And this will enable us to purchase more property. And the prices of the property keep rising as we speak here. So that's the only way that we can invest our money Islamically. So there is no interest involved, nothing, but it's just appreciation of those burial plots. And I don't want to take too much of your time. I have circulated these flyers, and this is, and thank you very much for those who are here, who have shown interest. And you all are our ambassadors. I'll really like you all to take this information back to your friends and relatives. A lot of people don't like to face the fact that someday we have to depart, and they don't want to like ask questions. They are avoiding this. Sometimes people run away when they see me. And they say, Rohan, I'm not ready. Right? So, but who knows? We had a little baby who passed away at 14 days in this masjid. So we don't know. And I have seen young boys that 25, 30 years who have met motorcycle accidents, and we have done their janazas here. So we never know at what time our call is. I really like to now open the house with any of your concerns and questions. I have Annette here to answer some of the technical side from the cemetery point of view. There are questions. She came ready with the answers. So she has got facts and figures, and even from brother, Dr. Sorry. Yeah, Muzammil Siddiqui also has been a part of this decision to purchase burial plots in Cyprus. So he has examined the direction and all of that and okayed this, the purchase. So it's a thoroughly Islamic burial that we want to do. We are working towards certain things where the requirement for a box is also that try to avoid that too. But the dome, the bottom is open. It is in contact with the dirt, so that's also in compliance with our needs. So if I can pass the mic around if you all have any questions.
I have a question. Do have a person choice, which cemetery he likes better than the other one?
Sorry.
I think that's your question.
Sorry.
Does a person has a choice that which cemetery he likes, better than the other one?
Okay. At present, we have only got property in Cyprus. Inshallah, we are looking for places anywhere else. And of course, if it is within our budget, we can still purchase. Mm-hmm. Like Corona is a possibility. Mm-hmm. Anything of MMC is a possibility. Mm-hmm. So that's a possibility.
So then the person can designate that, that the cemetery he likes to go or not?
I think it's more that the family would want to designate at that time because people move. So you may not be, you may move to the valley and there may be a burial grounds closer to the valley, which you may choose then, maybe in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. So we'll, because now this program is open to all the masjids, not only our masjid. So there will be people from Corona, from Covina, from the San Fernando Valley. So we are, inshallah, going to be purchasing property from all over. In fact, I have been talking to Annette again about where they have, Forest Lawn has many burial sites. So we are trying to get as many, but still we can buy individual plots if you want have a specific need, but it may not be like this, not Islamic area.
So,
but definitely Corona is an option. You can choose from Corona. If you, someone says they want in Corona, it's a Islamic burial grounds.
so all these burial areas are the Muslim designated or are the other people too in that area?
When we buy, now for instance, even at Green Hills, so one entire section is our section in the sense they are huge, their sections are huge. So we are like having about 30 plots at a time. So we graduated. The last time we purchased 12 plots. This time we purchased 28 plots from Green Hills. So our area is getting larger and larger. So that's again, we need the support from the community. We need, if we have more members joining in, this is what we will be doing with the monies that we collect every month, is buying properties, identifying property.
Okay. Now, at present, it's a $35 per month, you know, for a person, and for a 3 years, then it's just qualified person in a way. So can person, you know, put all the money for 3 years all together one time and get over with it?
Yes, you can give the money, we'll accept the money for 3 years, but still you would have to wait for the 3 years to qualify. The simple reason is, brother, that I'm trying to explain is that we have looked at this in various different angles. So we all have, with all good faith, we may be doing this, but down the line we may have someone who would have a ailing father or mother in hospital, where the hospital has given just 2 months or 3 months time, and they come and sign up. So this program will not be able to survive if that starts to happen.
Okay.
So for that simple reason is that we have to have at least 3 years.
So if the person, God forbid, you know, pass away within less than 3 years, then what is the result?
So we'll still do all the services that we do, except that the difference, whatever he has contributed so far, the difference there, the family will have to bridge that.
Come up with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another question from sister over there.
We have only information over here for the Green Hills, so can you please explain more about the Cypress one, the Cypress project, please?
Yeah.
Like I'm not aware of that project, so can you please?
Yeah, so this is actually the Green Hills is an outright purchase only. So you don't we still, if you want, so we have a few members who has got property in Green Hills, but they still sign up for our program, and that covers the opening, closing costs plus the mortuary charges. That's for Green Hills. So that is, but the property you have to buy. Now, similarly, there was another question with Cypress. Somebody wanted to make sure that they want to be buried side by side with their husband, wife, and the mother. So how could we do that? So that is not a possibility under this program unless that party is prepared to buy the 3 plots, and then it will be directly in their name, and we cannot use it for anyone else. So that is reserved. So that's a possibility. And with the details for Cypress, it's you know the location. It's pretty about 15 or 20 minutes from Orange County. And that's a completely, I would say not completely, it's about 80% of that particular area called Sunrise is owned by the 3 masjids. So that is, I could say it's Islamic burial area completely. So we are looking at places like that. So at any time, if you all know of any masjids who are having these plots and they want to sell, we are ready to buy along with them a couple of plots so that we'll have an Islamic area.
But how much is the cost for that, for the Cyprus?
Yeah, so the cost is only just the $35 a month to you. So the entire cost as of today, we have calculated it comes to about just over 13,500. So if you were to put aside $35 a month, it takes you 35 years to make that 13,500. And then with the inflation, maybe in another 10 years' time, it's going to be so much more. At least, like, let's put aside about 12% as inflation per year. And you can figure out how much you would have to pay if you were to pay at that time.
And that amount needed to be paid within 3 years?
No, you pay only the $35 per month. You never pay the 13,000. You just keep paying the $35 as long as you are alive. Yeah. So inshallah, like a person like me, in my 70s, I don't think I'll live another 35 years. Yeah.
So first of all, Brother Rohan, thank you very much for doing all the hard work that you've done to get us so far, inshallah, and we'll
Thank you.
progress very quickly. The question I have is regarding the process when, let's say, I pass away and my loved ones would like to contact somebody to get the process started so that, you could make all the arrangements. Who would be that person, and what's the flow of the burial and ghusl and all of that?
Thank you, brother. I think very important question, and I think questions like this will also enlighten everyone else. Number one is that, they printed some business cards for me, so I have the contact number is there. So it's not my personal phone number, but it's an extension. If you dial the masjid number, and extension 3 will be the person who is handling the burial program. So that is the good news. So you have a hotline to call. If you go to the website, still you have that number. So once and we also have now just launched our new web-based software for the burial program. So you can download the app, and you can download ID card that will have an ID card with all this important information, also stating that you are a Muslim, and in case of death, do not embalm me, contact the family, and all of those good information is there. And there is an emergency contact number on that. So that answers your question, I believe. And the process is actually, we will be the contact people who will contact the mortuary and the cemetery. And once we contact the mortuary, they will send you the paperwork, or we have the paperwork as well. So depending on your choice again, we usually are comfortable working with the Orange County Masjid, their mortuary, or the Olive Tree mortuary. So again, depending on how close you are, and you can choose that mortuary. So if you choose the Olive Tree mortuary, the nearest is to go to the Cyprus Masjid to do the Janaza prayers. And if it is the Orange County, you can always do the Janaza prayers at the Orange County Masjid, and then take the body to Cyprus. So generally, it's about 90 minutes, the response time. From the time you inform the mortuary, they'll come, they pick up the body. provided that you have got all the releases. So it's very important that everyone has, like whoever the primary doctor who is treating the patient, to be there to sign off on the paperwork. So these are things that you and I don't do on a daily basis. So since we are in touch with these people, we know them first name basis, we can immediately pick the phone up and they will act upon it. So it's much easier for us to tell you also what information is needed and to have it ready when and if it happens at home, so the first thing you got to call is 911, and then they will come there and see if there is any foul play or anything, and they will release the body to you. And once the body is released to you, then you can just get in touch with us still, and we will get the mortuary to come and pick up the body right away, because by then the police would have given you the release. So, and then the mortuary and the cemetery will coordinate, and then the final rites will be done. I think there's a question.
I have a question. We got the plot in Cyprus. I know they don't have the mortuary there. So let's say if I die over the long weekend or weekend, so do you think my body will be all this time at the hospital or Garden Grove mortuary?
No sooner your body is released, the mortuary will take you to that local, wherever the mortuary that your family, at least the next of kin approves, your spouse approves, and wants it taken. And so that's where it'll lay. So only on Sundays, right, that you all don't do. So Saturdays we can do a burial.
Okay.
Yeah. So otherwise it'll be in the mortuary. We prefer taking to the Islamic mortuaries because the bodies will be handled by either, if it is a female, it's by a female. If it's a male will be handling your body.
Okay.
So that's the difference between, I think the major difference between the Islamic mortuary and the non-Islamic mortuary.
So it will be taken at the Garden Grove mortuary, right?
Yes, if that is your choice, that's
yeah,
where
because
you
we got a plot in Cyprus, so
Yeah.
it's not, okay.
So, okay, now, Brother Sanim and wife, they have already plots, but they are still signed up with our program so that we will have the other services taken care of. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, thank you.
Brother, yes.
How are you going to manage somebody's burial for $35? Where are you going to get the rest of the money if somebody going to need, cover tomorrow and you only collected $35? How this going to work?
Okay, brother, good question. Now, that is why we had that 3-year period that we will have. So, someone passing away
I'm
tomorrow.
not talking about 3 years. Let's say day after tomorrow somebody needs it.
Yes. So
How are you going to manage?
no, that's why I said, like, till you complete 3 years, you will not qualify for a burial, but we will do it at your cost. At the family's cost, we will take care of everything.
So you will let us know cost at this time.
Yeah, so at that time, we will tell you, okay, this much it costs you. Or what we normally do is we will, as you go along, because it's like 2 checks that you have to write, one to the mortuary and one to the cemetery. So at those 2 times, we will tell you, okay, we need a check for this much, and then we need a check for this much for the mortuary. So the cemeteries and the mortuaries, they don't release bodies unless the check is,
Right.
am I right? Right. Yeah, they are very serious in their business. So there have been, with my experience, not with this masjid, with the Sri Lankan community, we have always had burial plots. Like now we have burial plots. If something like what you are saying happens and we know the family because we are the community, the management can say, okay, go ahead. So we will use all the funds, and maybe the family can either pay it by credit card in 2 payments or 3 payments. That can be worked out. That is something that we are here to do.
Are you going to incorporate?
No, this whole thing is under the masjid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is completely 100%. This program is owned by the masjid.
So you will directly deal with the mortuary.
Yeah, we will coordinate everything.
And, you know, committee-wise, are we talking about people from our masjid?
Yes,
Majority from the masjid.
exactly. So right now it's from our masjid, but as time goes by, we have to include from other masjids because we are having members from La Mirada and other masjids who have joined us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have one more question. That's a question for you. Before I purchased the plots, we visited the forest lawn facility in Cyprus. And gotta say, the section that is allocated for the Muslim burial was a little bit hard to find. And in particular, the plots that were designated, I had no idea where to go and how to go about it. I was going around in circles. So do you have any plans to put arrows down or so signs to lead us to the location?
I don't believe we're gonna be doing that, but you are always welcome to call me. I can give you my number, and if I have to escort you to your location, I can do that. That's not a problem for me, but it would be better if you contact me directly, and then because I will be your contact, right, so you can just call me up, and then I will go ahead and show you where the plots are at. Because you already purchased your plots, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, but you're talking about signs.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people who will be attending the funeral, you know, how would they know where to go?
Well, we have maps, and what we can do is maybe we can work with actually Rohan, and I can provide a map, and then we can just put lines, you know, arrows showing how to get to that location. They're not gonna know they'll know exactly how to get to Sunrise, but if you're having a burial, there's going to be people there, right? So I would say we do provide a map of the forest lawn, and like I said, I can work with Rohan making arrows towards where to go. So if they follow when they come in, they make a quick right, they go to the end, you make a right, and then the first, but I mean, literally, like, I have a map, I can show you what it would look like.
Is it possible to post some arrows, like a designated color, green or something, and you just follow the green line?
You mean at the cemetery itself?
Cemetery.
I don't think they would do that. And yeah,
Maybe that's something that we may be able to do.
yeah.
And then maybe the family can, that's a good question. But I know you get lost at forest lawn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big facility, I think.
I have another question. Now, for instance, that someone like Brother Salim, who has a plot audit. So I know that definitely the plot is not in our Islamic section, right? Or you wouldn't have purchased it. You bought it from God? So right. Okay, then it's the same area. But if someone has already purchased a burial plot, not in Sunrise but anywhere else, is there any way that that person can switch it over to?
It all depends on where the property's at. But you can always do a exchange. But again, that's something that we would have to look into to see where your burial space is, and is it gonna be an even exchange? Are you gonna have to pay more? You never wanna downgrade anything, right? So again, if that is the case, then I would say just contact me and I can find out for you. Yeah.
Westminster has signage like the one you asked for. At Westminster, there's actually in the burial ground itself has signage, like he was mentioning, clearly going towards the Muslim area and to the non-Muslim area. That's really where the question comes from. So it's definitely going to be useful. But related to that, I was actually wondering, at the entrance itself, when you normally go, they would give you a map, and they'll mark, depending on the burial that you're going to, they would mark it on. Is that available at your cemetery at Cyprus?
Yes, yes. And like I said, if you're gonna have a burial, I can always give Rohan the maps, already reprinted. He could just email it to you and you can print it out, or he can print it out. I'm not sure how that works with the mortuary. And they can print them out and have them passed out to the family or email.
One area, sunrise is only one.
Yeah,
Oh, there's only one area?
only one area. It's in the back, but I promise you, if you ever go over there, I can show you. If not,
I think we've
I
been
believe
there
I have a
before.
map here and I can show you what it looks like. And as regarding the signs, maybe that's something that you guys can look into and, you know, we can discuss that and maybe you can just do it as, if there's burial, if there's a service that night, that day, then maybe, you know, somebody can just go up early. I've seen that happen for military services, different services that we have. The families will put flags to the location. So, I mean, it's another option.
The signage would be extremely helpful,
Yeah,
given the considerable size of the facility.
yes. And we're one of the small ones.
Yeah, another thing is that all our mortuaries allow family members to come and give the ghusl bath. So just FYI, so if you want to participate in the ghusl part of the thing, you are also allowed to do that. Any other questions?
I have a question regarding this card over here.
Yes,
You know, it says what's included and what's not included.
yes.
Okay, so this is like a contract agreement.
Yeah, this is basically just to give an indication as to what's included in our program, and some people at times expect certain things which is not in the program, so that we have just outlined those.
So this is like what is in the program.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, but I have a question here. It says what's included and what's not included. And it says it will not cover death caused by act of God, natural disaster. You know,
Okay, so thank you for that. Yeah, so what happens is that when there are
why that's not covered?
yeah, so when there is large numbers involved, like a earthquake or something, that we will not, this program cannot collapse. Along with that, where if we have 10, 20 deaths, it's not a possibility for us to handle such numbers. But definitely, when something like that happens, there is maybe the state will step in, the federal government will step in, and we will definitely assist in getting whatever that we can get. That is just a protection for the masjid that is stated. But inshallah, like if our community comes together, maybe we announce it at one of our prayer times and say, okay, this happened and the whole community in this particular area was affected, and we want to help. The Janazah Fund cannot deplete its funds just for this. Yes, we will take care of that. But in order to protect the fund, we have to have certain guidelines and how much we can do and how much we can't do. We can't say that with $35 we can do the impossible. So if something like that happens, yeah, we are unable, our hands are tied. We don't want the other members to suffer because of that. So that's why we have stated that in particular, that for these reasons we'll not, but it's something that definitely when there was disasters like floodings and all that, FEMA comes in, there's so much of other government assisted programs come in. But we on our part will definitely act on that, and that is something that not only over here, when we have had disasters around the world, including Sri Lanka, we have come together, we have supported those kind of situations.
And another question is, now you are saying $35 per month.
Mhm.
Okay, after 10 years, you will say, no, we want $45.
Yes, we will.
And then, people already signed up for $35.
Yeah, so we have that is the marketing material. We have our contracts, and that is one thing that is like number 1 or number 2 in our policy manual. It says maintain an affordable premium in always keeping with the cost of burial, real estate and services. the premium shall be reviewed and evaluated every 3 years, adjusted accordingly if needed. Now, the good news is that if our numbers are overwhelming, maybe that even we don't need $35. Right? It may come down to even $30. The treasurer is saying no. No, because if the numbers grow, we can afford to even keep it at the $35 like for the couple of, even another 10 years. So it all depends on the numbers. It's all, because if we have 1,000 members and we are having like $50,000 coming in each month, we don't have barriers for 50,000 every month. So those monies are going to accumulate. So we don't need to increase it every year or every 5 years if our bank balance is good.
So another question is this transferable to,
Yeah, this is one question that I hear all the time, and no, it is not transferable. It is per person. You will, because what happens is, now imagine I sign up and then like in 4 years or in 5 years, my neighbor passes away and I decide to, hey, transfer it to that person. So that doesn't work that way. If you donate it, it will be taken as a donation. So that will go to because the program, we will also be helping those who are needy, right? So there has been times when people have come to us, and of course we don't give them Green Hills burial or Forest Lawn burial, but if a person is needy, we will give them maybe at Lancaster, which is about $3,000 for a complete burial. We can do that. So those monies are also in the same fund. It doesn't go anywhere else. It goes into the same fund. Yes, sister.
I just want to know that if I die, so I know like my husband will take in charge of that. So you guys are not in charge of putting the plates, the cement plate with my name and date. So is it we have to do that later on, or we have to do that?
Yeah, I think we just, yeah.
So just so you know, you can coordinate that with me, and you can actually pay for it prior, so you can lock in the price. So like Rohan was mentioning, every year our prices go up. So because the memorial tablet, the vase, and the setting fee is not included in the program, you are always welcome to lock in the price. So you can come in with me, and I can go ahead and write up the policy and provide that to you. So when the death does happen, that's already taken care of also. And it locks in today's price, which is nice. And this is only for Forest Lawn, though. Okay, does that make sense? Because my understanding is in the program, it's not included. All right, Rohan? Yeah. Okay.
So example, so can we get our own plate and then put, or do we have to get the permissions from you?
Okay, so the family can provide their own memorial tablet from an outside vendor. The setting fee, you'll still have to pay with Forest Lawn, because we have to be the ones to set it in the ground. But you can do that. It's just that we have regulations, so you would have to make sure that whoever you use knows our specifications, because what you don't want is to order it at the time, and then it comes to Forest Lawn, and then we decline it, which that's happened before. So it has to, you have to make sure that you're using a vendor that that knows Forest Lawn's guidelines. I mean, that's pretty much what I can say.
Do you mind telling me roughly how much does it cost for the thing?
Yes, as of today's date, it's $1,400 for a memorial tablet, $495 to place the memorial tablet. If you're wanting a vase, it's $50, and then plus your tax.
Okay.
And that would lock in your price. So if you passed away in 50 years, it still stays the same.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So we'll take a short break. It's time for prayers, and then we'll come back. Okay, thanks.